All right, everybody. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Thursday, December 2nd. We're in December now. There's a Thursday night game on right now, currently. I'm not watching it. I'm choosing not to. I'm not interested in watching the Saints without anybody really good out there against the Cowboys. I just don't want to watch the Cowboys. This is a defense special teams video for week 13. So the Cowboys defense will appear on my top 10 list. You won't really be able to utilize this information. But I think we're going to see a little bit more. The Saints offense did not look good against the Bills last week. I think, the Bills are a tough defense. Trevor Siemian was the quarterback who looked awful. Taysom Hill should be the quarterback this time, but still Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's, they didn't want to start Taysom Hill for a reason. It's because he's not the best at throwing the ball. So I like the Cowboys defense a lot this week. They're in my top 10, like I said. Against the Saints offense, against Taysom Hill, without any real playmakers. Kamara's out again. Michael Thomas still out. There's no other wide receivers that really scare you. Adam Troutman is out. I mean, it's really just Mark Ingram. And so we'll see how Mark Ingram does. I've got Mark Ingram going in a lot of lineups tonight. Oh, man, I am beat. Today's been one hell of a day. It's just been non-stop. It's been since 3. Got up at 3. Drove to work. I got to be there early because I do set up. So I got there early. 3:35. Start time was 3:45. From 3:45 till 6. We actually got out before 7 today, which was nice. It was nice. Was able to go home, get some breakfast. So came back over here after being on the go for 3 hours there. Came over here really quickly. We stopped at the store, bought some breakfast, went back to work, and then ended up just barely being on time. To eat my breakfast on the clock, which is something I don't like to do. I'm usually there early enough that I can kind of chill for a few and eat. But today I ate it on the clock, and today was just an awful day. I was there by myself. I wasn't supposed to be by myself. One of my coworkers had the day accidentally scheduled off, so he got a 3-day weekend. Good for him. Yay for him. And my other coworker, there's only 3 of us down in the warehouse, is on vacation, so it is just me. The morning, well, it wouldn't have been so bad if the elevators were working. So they're doing construction, a lot of construction in the Portland airport right now, and they had the employee elevator. We were able to access it for a while. They finally closed it off a couple of days ago, and for whatever reason, I don't know why they closed it off to us. So we're not allowed to use this employee pedestrian elevator anymore. And then so we got this freight elevator, which the freight elevator is nice because you can fit a lot of people in there. You can fit a big cart of stuff. You can fit multiple carts of stuff. And so in theory, it's great. The problem is it's really slow. Okay, that's one problem. And the second problem is it's always malfunctioning. It rarely works. It wasn't working for most of the day today. So that left us with one elevator, which we're not even really supposed to be using. It's the Delta Sky Lounge elevator that just so happens to go down to our floor. So we've all been using that, wearing that elevator out. Who knows how long that elevator is going to last? And it's a real pain in the ass because you have to have a red badge to get through the door. So there's some people who work downstairs, like our prep cooks, for example, who don't have red badges, who are unable to get up and down. So it's just a real pain in the ass, real inconvenience. The port's going to hear about it because that freight elevator, every day they're getting complaints about it not working. Every day maintenance is having to come out and deal with it. They need to come up with a way. Even if it's a stairway, we have to walk a little extra way. It's a stairway because they have stairways, so employees can walk up the stairs, right? If we're just going up and down, but people who work in the warehouse have carts full of stuff. We're not taking those carts of stuff up stairs, so they need to come up with how some places will have the wheelchair access little ramp. They need to build us one of those or something because this is getting ridiculous at this point. But I was busy Oh, they had 4 orders. So we're trying to get the restaurants back in the habit. The way we used to do things is they would have a morning order for all the stuff to get to do lunch and dinner, and then they'd have a night an afternoon order that was smaller, that was supposed to get them through breakfast the next day. So we're trying to get them back in the habit of that, because during the pandemic they've been just kind of having a free-for-all, just being able to do whatever the hell they want, asking us for stuff constantly, making us go back and forth 27 times a day. And me personally, I'm not having it. My supervisor is, tired of it on the dates when he's got to do it because I'm not there. And so, we're trying to get them back in the habit of doing it the proper way, doing the most efficient way for us. And so I did the morning orders, which were decently small. The problem was the elevators, and then the afternoon orders, they decided to wait until 3:30 to give them to me. They're supposed to be in by 2 o'clock, so that I have 2 hours to work on them, because depending if it's like 2 or 3 pages long, I need an hour and a half per restaurant to do it. So getting it done by 2 allows me a couple of hours to get it done. They didn't turn it until 3:30. There were 6 pages between the 2 of them. I was so angry. I was so pissed at them. Luckily, I got one of their cooks from Deschutes to come down and help me, because there was no way I was going to get it done. And I wasn't going to stay today. I've been at work. I was already at work for 13 hours. I wasn't going to put in any overtime, especially since they're trying to cut people's hours right now. It's our slow season. It's UPS's peak season, so I'm getting more money there, busier there. I got a $500 paycheck today, so I made all those extra hours, all that lack of sleep last week worth it. A $500 paycheck for a part-time 15-hour-a-week job. Pretty damn nice. So while it's peak season there, it's our slow season up until about March. So the hours are kind of balancing out, even though I make a lot more money at UPS than I do at my regular job. So it's actually, I'm coming out ahead, honestly. But I'm still getting I'm still getting 35, 36, about 35 hours a week. They're trying to cut an hour. I don't know. Yeah, they're trying to cut an hour off my shift right now, half hour at the minimum. And so they want me out of there at 4. I'm struggling to get out at 4:30 the last couple of days. Well, yeah, so it was a crazy day. I got a second wind now. I'm feeling okay. I wanted a nap. I wanted to come home and take a nap for a while. It's definitely a day where I deserve a beer, but I don't know if I want to go get any beer. And I don't want the beer that I have right now currently. So, yeah, because there's not really any good bottle shops here in Vancouver, and I definitely don't want to go back to Portland and deal with the traffic right now. Traffic getting home across the bridge is enough for me. Yeah, I should go catch the game, have a beer at the bar or something, but I'm not interested in this game, and I've been struggling to stay awake for the entirety of the game the last couple of weeks, so I'm just gonna not do it. I'm thinking about going to the movie though. Going to a movie, watching the new Resident Evil, which is supposed to be a lot more like the game than the Mila Jovovich renditions. And I'm really craving some popcorn. That's really the only reason I want to go. Just want some popcorn. And also, they give you like a big fat Pepsi, and so I want to stay awake, and I get a free refill when I buy it. So that's something I'm considering doing as well. But if not, I'm just gonna watch Netflix until I pass out, most likely. But I want to get this defense special teams video out first. We're gonna push it 9.5 minutes. Let's get to it. I already talked about the Cowboys. They're my number 10 defense for the week. The top 9. We got the Eagles against the Jets. Zach Wilson is the Jets quarterback again, so mistakes are going to be made. Cardinals and Bears. It's still Andy Dalton. It's still Matt Nagy coaching. The Cardinals are coming off a bye. They got a really good defense. A lot of factors weighing into the Cardinals having a really good week defensively. Buccaneers at Falcons. Falcons are just really inept on offense right now. other than Cordero Patterson, which tells you all you need to know because Cordero Patterson has never been fantasy relevant, and now this year he's a running back 1. So Colts at Texans, number 4. It's the Texans, and Texans, as is the theme in these defense rankings. Good defense, bad offense. This is going to be a good week for the defense, most likely. Dolphins really coming on lately. They're back in the playoff hunt because that defense has been stellar for the last few weeks. At the Giants, or not at the Giants, but versus the Giants. Daniel Jones, whether it's Daniel Jones or Mike Glennon, it doesn't matter. Mistakes are going to be made. Rams defense coming off a bye against... No. Rams came off the bye last week. Doesn't matter. Jaguars are basically a bye week for the Rams. That game's in Los Angeles. Vikings. My Vikings defense is 7 against the Lions. Lions are missing DeAndre Swift, who is really the only offensive weapon they have. Jamal Williams should have a good day. Get a lot of work. I like Jamal Williams a lot this week. I'm going to talk about Jamal Williams probably in my wide receiver running back video. There's a little bit of a teaser for you. But other than Jamal Williams, there's nothing to like on the Lions at all this season or this week. Vikings, I don't want to say the Vikings are going to win. I really think the Vikings are going to win. They're my team. I'm gonna say the Vikings are going to win, whether I believe they're going to win or not. But it would be so embarrassing and so fitting, embarrassing yet fitting at the same time, if the Lions get the first win against us on Sunday. Bills defense is the Patriots. Patriots don't make a lot of mistakes. This is a Bill Belichick team. Mac Jones, despite the lack of statistics, Mac Jones has looked really good. He looks like the real deal. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of turnovers there, but the Bills probably going to keep the Patriots from scoring a lot of points. Bills, have been one of the more reliable fantasy defenses. There's no reason to think that won't continue this week. 49ers defense against the Seahawks, the terrible Seahawks, terrible Sea Chickens. I actually didn't mean to say Seahawks there, but Freudian slip. They're terrible again. They're back where they rightfully belong in the hierarchy of football, as they were a completely irrelevant, inept franchise for the first 20 plus years of their existence. Suddenly now, I never met a Seahawks fan in my whole entire life until I was in high school, and now Seahawks fans are everywhere. I guess that's what having a good team and having bandwagon fans will do for you. And but I like Russell Wilson. I respect Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. If the Seahawks are going to go for a complete rebuild, which they probably will need to, clean house. John Schneider's going to be gone. Pete Carroll's going to retire. Even though I think Pete Carroll he's earned the opportunity to go out on his own terms. Hope they don't fire him. I don't think he deserves to get fired after one bad year, after all the years of success that he's had there. But he's getting old. Maybe they're going to kind of push him into retirement, whatever. But I think he's earned the right to retire when he wants to, or resign and go on to whatever other thing he wants to do for the rest of his probably short life, short remainder of his life, I should say. But that doesn't matter. It's a business. It's cutthroat. I'm sure Pete Carroll's gonna get fired, no matter what I think about the situation. So, but Russell Wilson could also be traded. It would be smart for them. He's eating up a lot of their money. Russell Wilson has a lot of value on the trade market. He would bring back a lot of draft capital. So something for the Seattle Seahawks to consider. But the 49ers defense has been pretty decent lately. They were one of the trendier defenses coming into the season in the draft. Top 10 for sure. And then we got the Cowboys at Saints tonight. A couple of defenses outside the top 10. My top 10, not necessarily the rankings top 10. These two defenses I'm going to talk about are actually in the top 10 for the week. I took them out of the top 10 for the week because that's not true. The only team I moved up into the top 10 was the Cowboys. Anyway, Patriots defense. Patriots defense has been the best defense in fantasy football so far this year. Been very, very good. It's hard to say. I don't want to say that they're not going to have a good week because they're so good. I can't see them having a bad week. And the Bills' offense has had a couple of off days so far this year already. So that could happen again on Sunday, but I just don't. I don't see this is a big game for the Bills, a huge game for both teams. Really, the Bills want to make a statement. They want to prove that they're no fluke. They want to stick it to Bill Belichick after Bill Belichick's been sticking to them for 20 plus years. I think the Bills want to make a point. They want to make a statement. I think they're going to show up on Sunday. Patriots defense still worth starting in a 12-team league, in my opinion. And then we got the Chiefs defense against the Broncos. Chiefs coming off a bye. Andy Reid is really, really good in his career coming off a bye. Okay, so that's something to consider. Chiefs defense, I know, is not great, but the Broncos offense also isn't super great, and it's very conservative with Vic Fangio, who is another coach who's probably not going to survive the season. Speaking of the Broncos, what is going on with Cortland Sutton? The Broncos just gave him a lot of money, but he's been very invisible for the last few weeks since Jerry Jeudy came back. So it kind of makes you question what their end game is there, but perhaps they're going to trade him. They just wanted to lock him up and trade him. I don't know, but yeah, Chiefs defense might have an okay day against a division rival in the Denver Broncos. Also, if you're in an IDP league and you need a defensive back, as I was scouring for defensive backs, because I picked up, I have Jeremy Chin. He's been my safety for the season, but he's on a bye this week against the Panthers. And then I picked up Kyle Duggar of the Patriots because he was the best available safety on the free agent list, but he's got COVID, so he's out for the week. So the next guy I picked up was rookie L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed was the guy I was really high on coming in the draft. I was really hoping my Vikings would draft him because he could play corner and safety. He's interchangeable back there. He's been an absolute gold mine for the Chiefs. They found him in the fifth round or something. He's been a stud. He is the safety that I now have to replace Kyle Duggar. So I'm banking on L'Jarius Sneed. I also have Chris Jones. Chris Jones is up this week as my defensive tackle in my IDP league. So I like both of those guys as an IDP pickup and start for the week. I know I don't really talk about IDP much. I should actually. Maybe I could market myself as the IDP guy. Maybe that'll give me more views, more subscriptions. Give me it'll be my niche. I'll have to consider that for next season. A little late this year, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna end this. Show you guys some mercy and end this now. I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna do for the last couple hours of my night before we go to sleep. Tomorrow's gonna be an even worse day because today we got a lot of cakes today, which isn't normal for a Thursday because we didn't get any kegs last week because our boss told us not to order any kegs. And then, of course, he forgot that he told us to do that, so he bitched us out a couple of days ago about not having any kegs for Hopworks. So we got a lot of kegs now. So I had 4 pallets of kegs I had to deal with today, on top of all the other stuff. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big delivery day. And I'm by myself again, so tomorrow's going to be even worse than today, and I'm not really looking forward to it. But hopefully, because I communicated with the supervisors up in the restaurants a little bit. They did a little bit bigger of a PM order tonight, which will be more work tonight, but it's going to make my life easier in the morning, hopefully, so I can kind of just deliver a small order in the morning, take care of all the freight that needs to be put away, and then do like a normal sized order in the afternoon and set myself up for a typically usual easy Saturday. So looking forward. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it because I know it's not going to work out the way that we want it to, but I'm optimistic. I hope that tomorrow is an easier day than today. All right. Peace, love, and nacho fries.